As the wave begins to build, so does the panic and my inability for rational thinking. My breathing becomes rushed, jagged, and sharp. My head becomes foggy. My teeth start to chatter. Basic comprehension and understanding of language desert me, and people's voices sound like they're coming through a funnel. Every part of my body feels too heavy and too light all at once. I'm about to crash through the grounds, and I'm also going to float away. I'm a volcano about to erupt, a balloon with too much air in it. I feel like Violet Beauregarde in Willy Wonka's chocolate factory before they squeeze the blueberry juice out of her. It's all too much, too much, too much. And then comes the crashing of the wave. Signs of an impending meltdown. Increased irritability, increased stimming, change in voice, lack of communication abilities, anxiety, freezing, loss of ability to focus, changes in body language. Meltdowns, shutdowns, or sensory overload are only short-term events, but burnout is the end result of long-term exposure to expectations and pressures that are a mismatch to ability and, without adequate support, can last for months. Burnout often shows itself in neurodivergent people as a loss of function and skills, chronic exhaustion, and reduced tolerance to sensory stimuli. Because of both the intensity of burnout and its long time frame, burnout can cause people to lose jobs, drop out of school, and dramatically alter their lives. Despite all of this, burnout seems to be one of the least spoken about and least understood parts of autism, meaning that services, support, and correct understanding are few and far between. And, once again, autistic folk are left to try and figure it all out themselves. But what is burnout? You know when you have too many tabs open on your computer and the computer freezes up or starts to slow down or go into safe mode? That's it. Our brains start working on limited functions, not all services available, because we've been giving far too much of our services for far too long. Except, the difference between our brains and computers is that on a safe mode computer screen, we can physically see the rainbow loading circle. We can see the slower functioning time and understand why it's happening. As an autistic person, we're not given that privilege. As an autistic person, we are expected to function, to go on with our lives, to carry on and repeat the exact same behaviours that got us into this rainbow loading screen in the first place because everyone else can, so suck it up. As an autistic person, we are expected to function, to go on with our lives, to carry on and repeat the exact same behaviours that got us into this rainbow loading screen in the first place because everyone else can, so suck it up. And we'll fall, and we'll crash, and we'll keep on crashing. We'll crash again and again and again as we're forced into these scenarios to be washed, rinsed, repeated, and spat back out again. As an autistic person, we are expected to function, to go on with our lives, to carry on and repeat the exact same behaviours that got us into this rainbow loading screen in the first place because everyone else can, so suck it up. And we'll fall, and we'll crash, and we'll keep on crashing. We'll crash again and again and again as we're forced into these scenarios to be washed, rinsed, repeated, and spat back out again. Until we can't anymore. Our bodies can only take so much, and after too long of too much, we can't continue anymore. We go into safe mode. Autistic burnout can last for weeks, months, or even years. And it's one of the most terrifying things you can experience. Originally, my people came in the form of internet-based friendships. I know, internet danger, stranger danger, stay in the real world. These internet friendships were with complete and utter strangers. I knew nothing about them but their screen names. But they were my first massive step towards learning both how to communicate and how to find myself. In my social groups online, I wasn't Chloe, the weird autistic girl with knotty brown hair and flappy hands. I was Chloe, the artist, the blogger, the writer, the one who knows absolutely everything about One Direction and can eagerly blab to everyone else because we all came here for that sole purpose. There were no expectations that I couldn't meet, no false ideologies that had been put in place, no need to force communication, no fear of having to make eye contact. And despite never having met these people in person, never having heard their voices or even seen many of their faces, these friendships were more meaningful and impactful than any of the real-life relationships I had ever built.